Abigail Doherty.
And I'm Jamie McGlynn.
And in case you missed it, we recently made the exciting announcement that funds raised through Extra Life will be designated to Dr. Byron Lai's STAR project. If you're an Extra Life gamer, make sure you check us out on Discord, where we have a launch video that hypes up the new partnership. Today, we're talking with Byron to learn more about STAR and how donations from Extra Life will make a huge impact on our patients at Children's of Alabama.
Thanks for joining us again, Byron. Can we start out by just explaining what STAR stands for and just a general overview of your exciting project?
Sure, absolutely. STAR stands for Science, Technology, Activity, and Rehabilitation. And really, all STAR is right now is a fancy way of us just giving exciting headset therapeutic exercise opportunities for kids across all spectrums of the hospital. So we talked about it a little bit in part one, but I like to see rehabilitation on a continuum, starting from the most intensive, which would start at intensive care, go into acute care. In general, it may be more inpatient care, outpatient care, and then when someone is discharged to the home and community, I like to see all of those as one continuum. And what we're really trying to do is converge this continuum into a singular gaming community where a kid in the intensive care unit can play online and match up with someone at the home and build a relationship and a friendship with them while also getting some therapeutic exercise benefits from it. And the primary way we're doing that right now is the virtual reality headsets, which we've been talking about. Primarily the Oculus Quests, but also Oculus Rift, and we're trying to get a Valve Index too. But essentially, what we are doing is trying to create this online game community where children can just build relationships with each other and other gamers that without disabilities, of course. But if you're a gamer, you understand that when you build a friendship with someone through a video game and you play with them for months, say years, those friendships last forever. You know, I grew up playing games. I still think of some of my closest friends as some of my gamers that I've never met in person, and I haven't even talked to them for like maybe a decade. But if I were to see them online or just talk to them in person again, I know that bond is there because we've spent hours together playing, some kind of digital game. But those friendships last forever, and I think that's one of the big remedies for one of the issues we're seeing right now, which we talked about in part one in the last podcast. And in what the two big issues are low levels of health-enhancing exercise behavior and mental health issues right now. And that's actually at the home, not just at children's, not really at children's, I should say, but in the community. COVID-19 has really changed the game. The therapeutic exercise has always been beneficial, but right now it's definitely, I won't say far more needed because it's always been needed, but there's a big need to get kids in their community back into exercise behavior because COVID-19 has made people quarantine. It's made a lot of special exercise opportunities within the community close. For example, hippotherapy, a lot of those kind of opportunities have kind of shut down for obvious reasons, occupancy limits, etc. And so we're really excited in STAR to be able to get virtual reality headsets and give them to children with disabilities across this continuum and then bring them together in this one community.
That is amazing. I think our Extra Life participants can definitely understand the power of the relationships you build through gaming. And I know Abigail and I know how isolating it can be for the patients here at Children's, whether it's during the hospital stay or at home, like you said. It is an isolating experience for a child, and any opportunity we can give them to connect with other kids like them or not like them is amazing. And I'm so excited that Extra Life donations are going to be funding the purchase of these VR headsets for this use. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it actually looks like for a patient to work with a therapist or a doctor here at Children's and actually use a VR headset for their therapy goals?
I think it's easier to say where this all started. So I did a postdoc at Children's that was funded by Lakeshore Foundation, actually. It's kind of this nice collaborative between UAB, Lakeshore Foundation, and Children's Hospital of Alabama. And so I started a postdoc about 2 years ago, and in that postdoc, I essentially did all the groundwork research to really get these gaming devices into different sectors of the hospital and at the home, and to pretty much say they're safe, usable, and hopefully beneficial for improving health. And so what I mean by that is we did very small like case study projects and feasibility projects to see if using these new virtual reality headsets was safe and feasible. For example, in the intensive care unit, we were able to get gaming in that most critical stage of someone's stay at the hospital. And we were able to say it's safe, and we were even able to get them engaged in moderate exercise behavior, and that was through a boxing game through virtual reality.
And if you've ever been on an intensive care unit, that's a huge win to have someone engaging in moderate exercise. Typically in the ICU setting, patients are pretty not mobile. They're laying down.
Absolutely. We call it paradigms. I'm not going to use scientific language here. But the general belief system, and I think even myself, maybe, it's there in the back of my mind. I don't think about it. But when someone's in the intensive care unit or critical care, that you generally think, oh, I don't want to touch them because I don't want to mess with them because I just want them to recover.
Yes.
The problem with doing that is they physically decondition at a severely rapid pace. Within 2 to 3 weeks of their stay, their physical conditioning declines dramatically. What we're trying to do is get kids engaged in exercise behavior through these active video gaming consoles in that stage of critical care where people thought generally not to mess with them, and then get them rehabilitated all the way out back to the home. And so the groundwork we did really tested all of these sectors. We had the virtual reality gaming console there in the intensive care unit. We have a headset in inpatient care, and then we have 2 headsets in outpatient care. And then we also had tested it in the community, pretty much demonstrating in all sectors that moderate exercise behavior was possible, except the really inpatient outpatient's more focused on restoration, so it's a little different than moderate exercise, but still we were able to show that it's potentially health enhancing. Now, the reason why I say potentially is because we haven't demonstrated with really strong evidence yet that certain prescriptions of games and using it can get certain health benefits, and that's what we're actually about to test very soon in a National Health Institute or NIH grants. And so it's really exciting to see all this come to light.
Cool stuff happening here at
That's
Children's.
so cool. And hearing you talk about this, it's so obvious that this is not a small undertaking and there's so much that goes into this, and whether that be equipment or resources and time. Do you mind talking a little bit about what some of that equipment looks like, what some of those things that our Extra Life gamers will be playing for is going to, what that is directly going to?
Absolutely. So we've designed these 3 packages essentially where your donations are going straight to the children in these various sectors that we talked about. The highest package being getting those kids in the intensive care unit some gaming. That takes a little bit more work, for example, than just giving a kid a headset at the home in the community. But essentially all of these donation packages or all these donations are going straight to getting kids immediately involved in the gaming.
Awesome. So our Extra Life donations are going to primarily fund the purchase of headsets, VR headsets, that will be used in all these different sectors that you're describing.
Yep, and I guess in terms of specific headsets, that would be the latest devices. I don't want to say we're committed to one device, but technically, I guess it would probably be the Oculus Quest 2. The reason why I say I don't want to say we're committed to one device is that they keep really innovating the equipment. What we use will always be the best of what we can get them.
Sure. Only the best for our patients.
Yes.
But Oculus Quest 2s are...
We're getting them the games that go along with those headsets, as well as, like you mentioned, accessories to make it more comfortable for our patients to use and wear these headsets,
You got
right?
it. Thank you for bringing that up because I
Yeah.
should be a little bit more specific. We're getting the headsets, games, particularly games you can do therapeutic exercise through. But the accessories are probably the most important part, honestly, because without some of these accessories, a lot of kids with disabilities can't use the headsets. And so what I mean by that is the controllers. If you're familiar with a Nintendo Wii, it's just like kind of like a lace strap that goes around your arm, but you still have to grip the controller. So probably the most important thing we're doing, aside from giving them the headset, is giving them a knuckle strap, and then it goes over the knuckle so that they don't even have to hold on to the controller.
Okay, so
they
Their
can
hand is
adapt to
fastened
them.
to it. Yeah, we're adapting
Okay.
essentially the technology for them.
That's incredible.
And so that's just one of the little modifications we have, but that's probably the most important one.
That's great. And I know that our Extra Life community can visualize all of this and know exactly what they're funding.
I think it's so cool that not necessarily all our programs have something that they connect with like this and see where their funds are going directly. And this is a greatest need, absolutely. And to be able to connect it with our gamers, I think is really, really cool. This is definitely something we haven't been able to surprise our programs with before. So this is really exciting.
Yeah, this is a cool opportunity for our Extra Life gamers to meet the person whose their donations are directly going to impact you and your work and our patients at Children's. Can we plug your Extra Life team and just plug Star Labs real quick? If people want to join your Extra Life team or watch you on Twitch or watch your team on Twitch, how can they do that?
STAR is part of the UAB Lakeshore Foundation Research Collaborative. So it's this nice collaborative with the community, which includes Children's Hospital and UAB. It's really just me and one other person doing all this work. And so it's exciting to be a part of a larger team. But my partner and I, essentially, we've done a lot of work ourselves, hands-on, and we're excited to keep doing that. I love being in that intensive care unit and in the therapy clinics, just working with these kids, giving them these headsets. But it's nice to see this kind of partnership grow and, just into something larger. Definitely needed the help to get that vision completed or achieved.
Well, we're excited that you'll be with us every step of the way as an Extra Life participant, as a scientist in our hospital. So thank you so much.
Even in the short time sitting down today, we can tell how much work you've put into this and your passion behind it. Every dollar raised through Extra Life helps get VR technology into the hands of more kids, which helps them reach their therapy and mobility goals. We need our Extra Life community to spread the word to your followers, friends, and families about this project. Share with them how their donations make an impact at Children's of Alabama. Thank you, Byron, for joining us today, for being an Extra Lifer, and most importantly, bringing STAR to our patients.
If you want to know more about Extra Life, about Children's of Alabama, and about the project that our Extra Life donations are funding, go to childrensofalabamaextralife.com. And you can find us on Discord at that website. You can sign up for Extra Life at that website. Everything you need to know is there. Thank you.
Thanks.